And she's not your regular cop who is aggressive to get the job done. I would say she's approachable but intimidating.
I don't know if technically you dialogue with Ajay, your director, and your cinematographer when that kind of stuff happens, because it really changes the game and the dimension of what a viewer is watching when the close ups are really that tight. All right, Shreya Pilgaonkar joins me. Chal Kapat is out on Z5. It's a dramatic series where she plays a cop, and I'm about to chat with her for the next 15-20. What's up? How are you?
Hey Rishike, I'm doing great. How are you?
Virtual hugs are not good enough. I'm missing the
I
real life hugs from
know.
you.
Virtual hugs right back. I think last we met was during Taza Khabar promotions. It's been a while.
Absolutely correct. I wasn't in town when the on ground for this happened, but well, just as well, I had to get you on air, and I'm so glad this conversation is happening.
Thank you for having me.
Listen, I want to start at the obvious point, which is, do you sort body language out first, or do you sort dialogue out first when you have to play a cop? I know the uniform helps, but is there a particular posture that you take on, as opposed to, let's say playing a character like you played in Taza Khabar or a Broken News?
Right. I feel like first and foremost, I don't approach it with the thought of I am playing a cop. I think my first step is really to understand what the inner world of the person is like. And in this case, Devika Rathod, SP Devika Rathod, she's young, perhaps much younger than the usual cop who ends up being in the position that she is. She's recently lost her husband in an accident. So there's some grief there, there's some suppressed emotions there. And she's not your regular cop who is aggressive to get the job done. I would say she's approachable but intimidating. She is somebody who'll use psychological tactics, somebody who's very sharp, somebody who will slay with a smile, who will kind of get you to be your authentic self without making the person realize that they're giving away too much. So because more, like for Devika, more of it was psychological, I feel like I didn't have to, be this kind of cop who's like going around thrashing people. But yes, she had to own that space. And I also think that, like you very rightly said, when you are a cop, somewhere that authority, that power, the way you own space, the way you're talking to people, how personal are you getting? All these things make a lot of difference. But in this case, I did not follow any person. In fact, I stayed away from her. I wanted to just make her a little more relaxed, but still intimidating. So it'll always be person first and then the body language and the dialect and everything.
I'm very happy with the portrayal of police officers in cinema, modern day OTT, because I remember when we were growing up, early 2000s, late 90s. Of course, you're much younger than me, but I'm saying there was a whole phase where popular Hindi cinema had the cops coming when everything was over. It was almost, the cops are going to show up late, सब कुछ हो गया है, सब पता लग गया है, and the cops come in. But, of course, there is the Rohit Shetty template, which is very stylized, the ultra cool, suave cop, and then there's this realistic kind of portrayal which OTT does. I want your comment on that. Are you happy with the way police officers in general are portrayed in modern day cinema as opposed to the past?
I actually really enjoy watching how women in uniform are portrayed in general because there's so much one can do with that, especially understanding the personal and professional setup, and there can be a contradiction right there and then. If you look at Kate Winslet in Mayor of Easttown, or if you look at Rani ma'am in Mardani, or Taboo ma'am in Drishyam, or Devika Rathod in Chal Kapat, I feel like they're all very different with how they conduct themselves. And a lot of the times, there is this inherent battle of being misunderstood, undermined, I would say. So sometimes you end up doing a little more, right, in your profession because you're battling so many misogynistic minds also when you're in that profession, I would say. Also, there's also this layer of a personal life that we've explored in the series, which I do believe a lot of women in power face, which is they don't always have partners who are secure with the power that the profession gives the wives.
Yeah.
So this was very interesting, and I really do enjoy watching how cops, detectives can be played very differently. And even though stories are more or less similar, your Knives Out, etc., they can all be more or less similar. But what makes it different is the lens of the investigator or the cop. So there's always that scope there. And I mean, for me, one of my favorites will be like a Benedict Cumberbatch. He was not a cop, but just Sherlock, the way he sort of carried himself there. So that was really fun for me to explore, and it's nice to see how whether it's a cop or people in uniform are being portrayed not in a stereotypical way. So it's nice to see that world.
So it released this morning on ZEE5, and it's actually a very breezy watch. I like this, 30-minute to 35-minute.
This was actually 20 minutes.
Yeah, 20 minutes. That kind of a duration. So I really ran through the 7 episodes.
Yeah, it's meant to be very quick. It's meant to be very quick. And so, you know what, for me, this was a very unique setup also, because I haven't done something which was designed to be not very complex, kind of simplistic in its sort of storytelling, but also like just quick, snacky episodes of 20 minutes each. So for me, it was interesting to see, okay, let's see how the audience is responding to even this kind of content, because every platform is now exploring what works. So even though I've done a Broken News with Zee, that's much longer, that's an hour episode and like 8-9 episodes.
My question is a little technical. I've noticed that there are lots of tight close-ups and really tight close-ups. I don't know if you've seen the show in detail.
Yeah.
Of yourself as well as the people you're interrogating. Obviously, there's lots of interrogation in it because it's a whodunit. Everybody is a suspect and things like that. I don't know if technically you dialogue with Ajay, your director, and your cinematographer when that kind of stuff happens, because it really changes the game and the dimension of what a viewer is watching when the close-ups are really that tight.
Yeah, that was intentional because we wanted to show what Devika's observing. She's not just listening, she's observing the eyes. You'll see a lot of shots of twitches, of fidgeting the nails, of just like little smirks, of abuse marks. So you're trying to show what Devika's observing, which your maybe perhaps normal person would not observe. So that was interesting, an interesting approach I felt to how they want to go about it. There was that quirk in how they wanted to go also, because the show was shot in very less time, perhaps the fastest shoot I've ever done, as a result of which we also had to do a lot of long takes. So even in the edit, they wanted to make it fast paced, but a lot of our interrogation scenes, you must notice there was one really long shot when I enter the house and when I'm speaking to Vikram's character, I'm speaking inside, I'm coming out. And so there was like a lot of choreography, and we just attempted to kind of do things a little differently to tell the story in a different way with whatever limited resources we had at that time.
Also, she's no nonsense. I mean, apart from the fact that she's a tough cookie and she's doing a great job of hiding the real pain in her own personal life, she's really no nonsense. And that can easily become very boring in the hands of a lesser actor. So actually, this is a compliment to you.
Thank you.
Because even though she's no nonsense, the scenes are not staccato.
Yeah.
I mean, you react, but at the same time, if you feel that somebody or is trying to make excuses, you cut them short and things like that. I wonder if you followed the script to the T, the dialogues to the T, or do you work around some of them and say maybe this will be more impactful while they block the scene before the take?
Well, it depends what kind of set it is and if the director and writers are open to it. Because I know actors can be infamous for sometimes overstepping and perhaps changing more than they should technically. But this particular set wanted the actors to collaborate and make the lines their own. So when we would get the sides in the morning, if we felt instinctively like something else needs to happen, the director would give us that space to kind of make it our own, make it flow more naturally. And because this particular story is verbose in the sense that we're talking a lot, very naturally we would be saying things, cutting each other short if we needed to, especially for Devika's character. So yes, I did feel like I had that space in this particular series. And it's a little hard to get into a lot of nuances when you have the limitation of time. That is something I was not used to, because a lot of my work that I've done before, like Guilty Minds or Broken News, they have given me a lot more time to build the character.
Yeah.
But for example, in this show, there wasn't that much time. So we had to kind of just use whatever few moments we had to really attempt to convey the emotional state of that person.
Talk to me about Ajay Bhuyan. What are his strengths as a filmmaker? What did you enjoy most about collaborating with him?
So Ajay and I actually also worked together on a show I did with Veer Das called PP Petals. It's not yet released. I'm sure you've heard of it. We must have.
I've heard of it. I've heard of it, and IMDb has an entry for it actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, well, we hope at some point it releases. Not sure where that is, but we filmed that I think 3 or 4 years ago. Gosh, it's been that long. So Ajay sir and I had worked together. So there's like very natural trust. And you know, it's a beautiful feeling for an actor to work with a director who shows that kind of trust. And it has to be mutual, because it's no fun if you're constantly in doubt of each other's capabilities in whatever way. So Ajay sir has generally like very calm temperament. He's relaxed, he's smiling, he wants to know what the actors are thinking. So it was a fun process in general. And like I said, it was a very fast-paced, quick shoot, and we didn't have much time to even kind of perhaps change a lot of things if we needed to. So we really had to have each other's back in the process of this particular shoot.
And never a dull moment when Samar Khan is in the room. He's always full of stories.
He's full of stories. He's great energy on set. This is my first time working with Juggernaut, and he's very good energy. Yes, I agree.
I like the whole, vibe of small town cop, younger than everybody else at the police station, coming in and assuming her responsibility, almost as though she's inflicting a punishment posting on herself because she wants to take her mind off stuff. And I really like the fact that even when she's not in uniform, it's jeans and shirts. Was that in the script, the jeans and shirts thing? Because I thought that was really, really smart. Or did you provide some input saying, let's do this?
No, we wanted to make sure that she was in civilian clothes and not in the cop uniform for 80% of the show, because as you must have seen, she's in the cop only when she's going to arrest. I don't want to give spoilers.
Yeah.
The reason we wanted to do that is because we want the audience to also see Devika for who she is and not just in cop mode. And also, I feel like for Devika, just her approach is to kind of not befriend would be a wrong word, but to feel a little more approachable, since it's a family, since it's a little more it's a more personal setup, but this murder has happened. So we decided to give her the civilian uniform so that she can make certain choices as a cop, which otherwise would have had a different impact if she was constantly in the uniform. So we wanted to kind of give her that, and that was decided from the get-go.
I know it was a fast shoot, but the advantage of having an ensemble cast with so many different characters, I wonder if you knew any of them, any of the actors before this, whether you hung with them and things like that. It always is fun, isn't it? If you have people to feed off on who are friends and acquaintances.
Absolutely. So the only person who I knew was Pranay, who was with me on Guilty Minds. But him and I didn't share perhaps just one passing shot together. So him I had known. Smaran I had known, but he wasn't a friend then. But the rest, in fact, it actually helped that I didn't know them. because that distance is something that I'm glad I already had. And we started off shooting the interrogation scenes. So I'm really glad that there was this non-assumption, or we were not preempting each other. We were not comfortable or familiar with each other's presence in sort of that intimacy, which I think is great. So we could play off that. And eventually, of course, all of us hung out, and it was, outdoors to give you the opportunity to spend more time. I celebrated my birthday on set. So it was really nice in that sense. And everybody in their own right did their best to kind of establish that character in whatever little time that they could.
Lovely. Just some lifestyle questions before we wrap.
Yes.
I saw a very interesting interview of your dad's. I think it was with Kunal Vijayakar or with somebody, where he said that Shriya and him, which is the two of you, actually traveled to go out and eat from out of Mumbai. And I was like, Shriya doesn't look it. She looks $1,000,000 as though she's got great metabolism. I don't know. I put on weight when I drink water. But is that so? And what's your favorite outstation destination just to travel and eat and come back?
So actually, let's just say that I don't remember one particular place, but like once my father's friend has a farmhouse in Alibag, and he told me when he went there, they cooked amazing fish. So he said, you know what? I'm going to tell him I want you to have it. I said, okay. So we've gone all the way with the intention of having that food. So I'm a foodie. I'm very passionate about food. For me, traveling and trying different cuisines, street food, it's all like synonymous. It excites me. And my mother gets fed up of how much we discuss food at home. So yes, I really I share that food bond with him, where we're always up to try different stuff.
Also, it's what they call Hollywood summer blockbuster time. The Mission Impossible film with Tom Cruise is released. There's a new Jurassic Park which is coming up with Scarlett Johansson. There's
Wow.
Yeah.
Why have I missed that? Okay.
It hasn't released. That's another big. It's called Jurassic Rebirth, where she's part of the cast.
Wow.
There's another one called The Phoenician, which has Pedro Pascal, Benicio del Toro.
Ooh.
There's the Dragon movie, How to Train Your Dragon, that franchise, which is going.
I love that. Yes.
Do you like grabbing your popcorn and going to a multiplex or an IMAX and watching summer blockbusters?
Oh my gosh. Yes, absolutely. In fact, I wasn't free when, I hope Mission Impossible is still there in the theaters, is it? I would love to, because there are some films, you give them that respect by going and watching them in the theater. You need to buy that expensive popcorn, and the film deserves it, I guess. So yes, I do love going to the cinemas and watching, because at the end of the day, yes, we have the comfort of OTT, and that'll always be there, but the real movie watching experience is getting out there and experiencing that. So I am looking forward to, in fact, all these movies now, especially How to Train Your Dragon, because I loved all of them.
I have to say, I've never told you this, but I follow you on Instagram, and I love your fashion sense. It's all class. One never finds you sloppy. You're always, when it's Shriya Pilgaonkar, there's a lot of class in there.
Oh.
Do you work with lots of stylists and designers, or do you have a chosen go-to one or two people?
I have 2-3 stylists I work with, but they kind of, depending on what vibe we want to go for, they'll sort of get those clothes and we'll select what we want to do, we'll do fittings. The thing is that because of a lot of my characters, they on screen have been just rooted in reality. So I haven't really had much time to explore maybe that glam quotient on screen. So I like to do that off screen, because that's also my way of putting another version of myself out there. And the hope is, of course, that when people see you differently, they can imagine you in different paths, really wanting to do like a love story, a rom-com, genres like that, because they don't come by very often, especially to actors who perhaps have done more work in like a thriller drama space. True. And on OTT, mostly there are thrillers and dramas made. Very few today projects have subjects which are lighthearted and comedy. So for me, promotions are a great time to just glam up, have fun, serve looks. I love it.
My last question is a travel destination you went to recently and went, whoa, great time.
Oh, Tadoba.
Did you go to the wildlife sanctuary? Yeah.
I went to go see the tigers. We did
Yeah.
the safari there. It was my first time in Tadoba, and we got really lucky because we did 4 safaris and we got sightings in 3. And I had a family friend who was a wildlife photographer. So she gave me her camera and taught me some wildlife photography as well. So I got some fantastic pictures, and I mean, I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it because seeing those beasts in the wild,
Yeah.
it's a spiritual experience to kind of just, to spot them, to have that patience, and not just them, like so many other animals. So Tadoba was a fantastic experience. And that was the last trip that I actually did. And then last year, my last international trip was New Zealand, which also was so stunning. I did skydiving again for the second time, and some other fun adventurous things. So I'm waiting to travel again now, actually. It's a ritual for me, Rishikesh. Before and after a project, even if it's 2 days, I take off. And now, since I have some time, I'm going to go on a longer holiday.
Lovely. More power to you. For all of you who are watching, listening, Shreya's in Chal Kapat. It's streaming now on Z5. Actually, go and back catalog. There's a tremendous show called Broken News that she's a part of on the same platform. So maybe after you watch this breezy one, 7 episodes of this, go back and watch that one if you're living under a rock. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Lots of love. Bye.
Thank you, Rishikesh. Have a great day. Bye.
94.3 Radio 1.